Hi, I'm John Cash. Welcome to John Cash Ministries and Revelations Church Daily Devotion. Well, today we're going to be talking about Black Friday and the big shopping day. What does God think about all this? Does he care? Well, folks, let's start off with these Bible verses in Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 5. We'll start there and go through verse 6. He says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you and never will I forsake you. So let me just start there. What I'm about ready to say is going to make some of you very happy and some of you very angry. All right. So I'm doing this on Black Friday for a reason. Okay. Americans are materialistic. We're preoccupied with deals, and there's nothing wrong with getting a good deal. We're preoccupied with shopping. We're preoccupied with things, and we think that things will make us happy. And that's just not true. It can make you happy for a while, but you need more and more things to keep the happiness going. See, God has got a different plan, and his plan is for us to not focus on money, to not focus on things, but to keep our focus on him. And in verse 5, he says, keep your lives free from the love of money. One of the greatest tragedies out there is the number of people who wind up falling for the love of money. Now, I want you to think about this. Do you remember King David? He was scolded by God and punished severely for something that may not seem too big of a deal to you. He was counting his fighting men. What's the big deal, you might ask? Well, King David was doing it against God's will and wishes because he wanted to know how many men he had to fight if invaders came in. You see, he was placing his faith and trust in the size of his army to keep him and Israel safe. Whereas God said, no, I don't want you to do that, David. Put your faith and trust in me. I will take care of you. I will fight the fights. In the same way, folks, when we see verse 5, it says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content on what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. I'm going to be there for you through it all. You could be poor and love money. You could be middle class and love money. You could be rich and love money. But here's the key. God is saying, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. You see, the fear and worry causes you to look off into the future, and you want to have as much money as possible just in case something happens. Whereas faith says, I'm not going to look off into the future like that. I'm going to grab God by the hand and he'll guide me down the right path. So that's how it works. So here again, he says, you need to keep your lives free from the love of money, materialism, and here's the key, to be content with what you have. Contentment. Are you content with what you have? If you're poor, are you content with what you have? If you're middle class, are you content with what you have? If you're rich, are you content with what you have? You see, if you're a Christian, God has it all under control, and you're there for a reason, fiscally speaking, financially speaking. You just got to trust him. So one of the secrets to not having the love of money is to be content with what you have, and you're going to be content if you believe that God is not going to forsake you or leave you. If you're convinced that he'll be with you, it will help you to be content and know he's on the throne and he's in control. Then verse 6 says this. So we say with confidence, can you say this with confidence? Here we go. Or with trust or faith. Can you say this with confidence? The Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can man do to me? That key word here is afraid. I will not be afraid. You see, the love of money is rooted in fear, worry, and anxiety about the future. Now look, folks, I'm the first one to tell you America is in trouble fiscally. No doubt with the debt. I mean, bad times are coming. Real bad times. But what do? Do we hoard our money? Do we worry and fret? What do we do? Well, on a political level, there needs to be change. But forgetting that, on a personal level, God says, look, don't be afraid. Do not fear. Fear looks into the future and demands as much money as possible. to keep them safe. And God says, wait a second. It's not money that's going to keep you safe. It's not possessions that are going to keep you safe or happy. It is me. The Lord is my helper. And that is the key to getting rid of the love of money and materialism. Recognizing that God loves you, He is your helper, and you need to place your faith and trust in Him that He will see you through the future, no matter if that future is bright, dim, or dark.